Now, this might come as a bit of a shock to you, but there is a way for you to make stopping drinking alcohol easy and fast. And I know that might sound a bit gimmicky because I struggled for 10 years, right? It was up, it was down. I was trying to stop all the time. And if I heard somebody say that in a video, I wouldn't believe it. There's no way that stopping drinking could be easy. It's hard. I used to be in the mindset that it was going to be a constant battle for the rest of my life. I'd have to go out to a bar and see friends and resist the urge to drink forever. But that couldn't be further from the truth. And today in this video, I'm going to be explaining 5 secrets that will make stopping drinking easy. In fact, it won't just make it easy. It's going to make stopping drinking one of the most enjoyable and effortless experiences that you've ever felt in your life. And just before we get into it, if you want my personal help stopping drinking in the Sober Clear program, where we really help you reframe the way that you view alcohol, and then we use coaching and really focus on building a great life without it with a community as well of business owners and professionals, please click the link in the description and book a call. On that call, we can see if the program could be a good match for you if you've already tried things like AA, therapy, rehab, trying to stop on your own. So either click the link in the description to book a call or just go over to soberclear.com to learn a bit more about how things work. And now let's get into it. The very first secret that I've got for you today is that the drinking is not your fault. Well, what do I mean by it's not your fault? Well, it can be so easy when we drink alcohol to blame ourselves. We got ourselves into this mess because of our bad choices. And hell, there's some ideas out there that will label you the problem. You're diseased, you were born this way, you're an alcoholic. And what all of these ideas and philosophies miss is that alcohol is an addictive drug. Instead of labeling the drug the problem, labeling alcohol the problem, we just push it on to you. You're broken. You need fixing. You need to join us and do this and do that to fix you as the issue. But we never look at alcohol. We never look at how addictive it is. We never look at how it's been conditioned from day one of being born to be portrayed as this amazing positive thing. No, society at large just labels you the problem, but this is not your fault at all. You have been lied to from day one of being born. You've been lied to by alcohol companies, by the media, by friends, by family, by people that you love that are promoting this stuff. The whole world is lying to you. None of this is your fault. The drug is to blame. The conditioning is to blame. You, my friend, are not to blame. Now, just before we go into the second secret, when I say these secrets make stopping drinking easy and fast, is that it's all about this mindset that I'm trying to give you. It's all about understanding that you're not to blame, alcohol is to blame, and you've got to see alcohol for what it is, as something that provides nothing in your life. When you're into that mindset, that's what makes stopping drinking easy. But for that, you're going to need the rest of the video, so make sure to keep going. The second thing that you need to understand is that you are not an alcoholic. See, here's the thing. When I tried to stop drinking alcohol during that 10-year roller coaster, I did go to meetings. There I was told to decide whether or not I was an alcoholic. I looked around this room full of people saying I drank like this, I drank like that. I thought, well, I mean, everybody else is saying they're an alcoholic. I probably am as well. Then I had this criteria, this very loose criteria saying if you're this, then you might be an alcoholic. Only you can decide for yourself. So I'm like, sure, okay, I'm an alcoholic. Let's see what happens. Because that's the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous, right? It's admitting that you're powerless and you're an alcoholic. Now, the issue here is that when we give ourselves this label, it doesn't disappear when we stop drinking. Listen, I'm not going to make this video about the problems with AA because at the end of the day, AA saved my mum's life, right? My mum hasn't drank for over 20 years. It might even be 25 years. It's something crazy. She's not drank for decades. But I went and that approach wasn't for me. I'm not going to sit around in a meeting feeling sorry for myself, calling myself an alcoholic, because what I think happens is when we give ourselves this label and we tell ourselves that we can never be fixed, and that stays with us for the rest of our life, this can become dangerous. Because what happens if somebody that's labeled themselves an alcoholic for 20 years, has no problem with alcohol, drinks again, then remembers that, oh wait, I'm an alcoholic, I'm supposed to drink like a lunatic? What do you think happens to them? Well, quite often, they can go overboard. But again, boiling it down to what I was saying before, you're not an alcoholic. In fact, if you go to a doctor, they will not label you an alcoholic. They will say that you may have alcohol use disorder. Alcoholic, this term is a made-up self-help term that you do not need to give yourself. Hey, listen, if you want to give yourself that label and you feel confident in your decision to not drink alcohol, more power to you. I respect you. I admire you. I love it. But at the same time, that's not the only way. You don't need to give yourself a label. Now, the third thing that you need to get your head around, and this is very different to what you might have heard before, but stopping drinking and willpower are completely unrelated. How many times have you told yourself that I'm going to resist drinking, that I'm going to stop for 30 days, I'm going to stop for 6 months, I'm going to stop for a week, whatever. And then we just fight it and fight it and fight it and fight it. That's the quote unquote willpower method. What do you think happens to somebody that's been resisting alcohol for a month? Well, alcohol goes higher and higher and higher on a pedestal. So when they finally reach the end of that month, it's been building up and up and up and up and up. And then finally, it's like this release. I can finally have a drink. Same way that the alcoholic goes overboard after giving himself this label or herself this label. The person using willpower does exactly the same thing. I've done this, right? I've stopped for a period of time and then drank even more than I did before I stopped using willpower. It's the wrong method and it isn't effective. It can be for a short period of time, but ultimately, we either rebound and go even worse than before, or we live the rest of our lives resisting and feeling bad about not drinking. That is no future. Now, the fourth secret that you've got to get your head around is that the way that we've been conditioned to see alcohol is absolutely everything. This idea that is pushed onto us 24/7, 365 from day one of being born is going nowhere. It's too deep into our society and people make far too much money from it. These corporations couldn't get away with selling tobacco and doing tobacco advertisements for very long. But alcohol is in a completely different category. People are surely waking up. I see YouTubers making videos all the time about not drinking alcohol. So there is a slow shift happening. How can we say that we're an advanced civilization? How can we say that we're in the best time alive to be a human? And all of these great things, which I agree with, yet still be out selling this drug. We live in a capitalist world, I suppose, where people make money from selling this drug. But what you've got to understand is that when there's a financial incentive to get you to drink alcohol, a message gets bombarded all of the time. And you need to be able to see this. You need to be able to see these messages and go, hang on, is that for real? Like what? This same substance that causes death, causes blackouts, causes divorce, causes so many bad things to happen in the world is the same thing that I'm being promoted to drink? What? It doesn't make sense because it's crazy. And listen, if you don't drink alcohol, you're not the odd one out. Even though sometimes you might feel like it, everybody's buying into this illusion that it's a good thing and it's doing nothing for anybody. And the fifth and final secret that I want to break down for you today is that visiting the past can be important. Right? There's a lot of people that do need to heal trauma and bad things that have happened. They need to process a lot of emotions. And there's a time and a place for that. But the most important element when you're not drinking alcohol is to focus on the future. It's to really build a vision of what you want your life to look like. Why are you even doing this in the first place? What's the point? Because if you're anything like me, stopping drinking alcohol, using willpower, giving myself a label of an alcoholic, sitting around watching TV all day, watching Netflix, hey, listen, I don't want to sound like an a-hole, but what's the point? Might as well drink. Well, no, you might as well not drink, but you get the idea. The whole point of not drinking alcohol is that you wake up excited to build something. You wake up excited to get in that great shape that you've always wanted to get into. You wake up to be a better leader in your family. You wake up to be a better person, to add more value into the world. That's what should excite you. Not stopping drinking just for the sake of stopping drinking. Not stopping drinking to feel a victim and tell war stories for the rest of your life. No, you want to stop drinking to focus on a vision and focus on building something amazing so that in 6 months' time, when the kind of honeymoon period's worn off, you've dropped 20 pounds. Your relationship's better. You're making more money. So then you start asking yourself, why would I ever want to add alcohol back into my life? Things are going so well now. And again, if you resonate with this message, then you may be interested in the Sober Clear program, where we help you further reframe how you view alcohol. And then we have coaching to really focus on building that great life. So if you want details on that, click the link in the description or head over to soberclear.com. Have a great day.